today, so I'm just going to show y'all how to create a really basic powder simulation using Godot. What is this, like 3.5? I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, so the first thing I want to do is going to go ahead and change the window size from this weird resolution to something a little more normal, so 1280 by 720. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple inputs. Just going to say like click and assign that to mouse button left. Alright. So the next thing I'm going to do is, by the way, this is a completely empty project apart from this tile sprite right here. All it is an 8x8 white pixel, or white square rather. So all I've done right now is just add a node 2D. I'm just going to rename that to world. And then I'm going to add a tile map. Alright. And then I'm going to create a new tile set. Go in here, drag this into here, and zoom in a little bit. Click new single tile. And that is huge. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the step to 4x4. So that's gonna be a new single tile. I'm gonna click create new single tile, and boom. So we've got two tiles now. They look exactly the same, but these two different tiles will be of importance later. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the cell size to 4x4. So, yeah. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just create like a straight line. You can create a straight line with the tile map editor by just holding down shift and dragging. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, now we can actually start programming. So I'm going to go ahead and go into world, click on the attach script, create a new script, remove all this stuff, and we'll just define a few variables. So I'm going to go ahead and say onReadyVar tile map equals tile map. So that just gets this node right here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just define a ready function, or make a ready function, and then I'm just gonna write pass because we're not writing anything in there just yet. One more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a timer node. Just gonna go ahead and add that. And I'm going to set that wait time to something like 0.01. 0.05. And we're going to set it to auto start. I'm going to go ahead and save it and just hit that auto reflex. And I'm going to go over here to node, and where it says signals, I'm going to add the timeout signal. Okay. And then basically this is where we're going to have our like actual updating, simulation of the powder. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and say if input is action pressed, click, and we're going to say for the tile map, set cell v, so this takes in a vector for our position, get global mouse position divided by 4, and actually what I should do instead is say var cell h equals 4 and var cell width equals 4. So that's for height and width. So I can just say divided by cell W, for example. So that is dividing our regular coordinates, which is 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 pixel for our mouse, by 4, so that we can get the tile map coordinates, basically. Okay, so divide by 4, tile, and then we're just gonna say, I'm gonna say our tile is 1. What was this one down here? See, they look the same, so it's kind of yeah. So see down at the bottom left where it says tile.png 0. So that means it's this one. So I'm gonna say that this is gonna be set to 1 because we want 1 to be like a powder and 0 would just be a solid. I probably should have explained that earlier, but okay. So if we run the game now, and we'll just set that to select current. Now we can draw our tiles onto the tile map. But they're not falling or anything, so we're going to change that. So we're going to go for tile in tilemap.getUsedCells. So that will get all of the cells that have something in them, basically. We're going to say if tile .id tilemap.getID. Wait. We're going to say get cell tile.x tile.y is equal to 1. So that means that if we're powder, if tile.y, well, actually, if tilemap.getCell tile.x tile.y plus 1 is less than 0, or we're just going to say is -1 because that means that there's nothing there. Okay. Then we're going to say tilemap.setCell tile.x tile.y to -1. So we're removing the tile, and we are going to do tile.y plus 1 to 1. So that will make it look like it's falling down because it's just removing tile below it. But once we get to the bottom, it'll stay there. So we kind of have a powder simulation, but it's a little weird. It's not very powdery. It's just kind of stacking on top of each other. In order to make it a little more powdery, we're going to say elif. So that's else if. So if this is false, we're going to go to this condition right here to see if it's true. Elifs normally, I don't know. I honestly rarely use elifs, but I mean, they do have their uses. So literally all I'm going to do is copy and paste this. But I'm going to say plus x plus 1 and x plus 1 here. So what happens here is where this one's checking 1 directly below it, this one is checking 1 below and to the right of it. So if there's a free space, if there's not 1 below it, but there is 1 below and to the right of it, it'll move there instead. And then all I'm going to do is just copy and paste this again. And instead of plus 1, I'm just going to say minus 1. And that's it. That is all. So now we kind of have a funny behavior like that. But yeah, that's it. We have a powder simulation. Now, we can increase or decrease the timer down to 0.0001. And that's, you know, a little more, it's pretty fast. But yeah. So yeah, this is a basic setup for a powder simulation. I've been really obsessed with these things recently. and I just thought I'd make a little guide on how to do it. Now, one word of advice: the looping through every single tile present on the tile map at once can be a little slow. Especially, see, I can already tell that this simulation is getting slower. After just like, you know, playing with it for a little bit. But yes, this is a basic start. You can program different tile types. So we already have two different tile types. Type 0 and type 1, which type 0 is just type type okay, there we go. Type 0 is just the wall, and type 1 is the actual powder. And then you can also, you know, go ahead and, I don't know, go ahead and do that. I actually have another tile simulator that actually generates a level with Perlin noise with the sand and stuff. So yeah, you can hook this up with many different things. There are many different tutorials out there on how to generate a level with Perlin noise using a tile map. So yeah. But yeah, this is just a basic little setup for a powder simulator.